3 minutes till the number 5 trade. This all took place within less than 3 minutes. I wouldn't even know the time if I hadn't checked the display board. Number 5 trade. 3 minutes. The station was empty except for a group of teenage girls with large suitcases, a young mother with her maybe 2 or 3-year-old child, and an older man sitting at the end of the platform. It all went incredibly fast. One moment I looked at the display, and the next I heard the young mother scream for her child. The moment I turned my eyes, I saw her jumping on the tracks. Her head disappeared behind the platform. I was frozen in place. I was sure she would come back up, but she didn't. Instead, the child began to scream. "Help! I can't move. Help!" she screamed. At that moment, my legs started running. It was automatic, not even conscious. 2 of the teenage girls were faster. I saw the first one jumping on the tracks, and I finally got close enough to see the woman and her child. They were both lying on the tracks, their necks pressed straight onto one of the rails. The girl that had jumped down on the tracks didn't pull the woman up. Instead, she slowly but deliberately lied down next to the woman. "What the fuck are you doing?" screamed the second girl, while she too jumped on the tracks. "I can't get away," screamed the second girl. And then I glanced at the display. 2 minutes. The other teenagers and the large man from the end of the platform were all rushing towards the people on the tracks. They didn't see it, but I did. The second girl too deliberately lied down on the tracks. 2 girls were left on the platform. One of them was screaming into her phone, "Stop the train! Stop the number 5 trade!" The last girl only stood on her platform, her mouth wide open and her eyes filled with terror. She jumped at the same moment as the old man, but his jump was faster and he nearly fell. But the girl jumped gracefully and landed softly. Only her face was still filled with this same expression of horror. "What's happening?" she shouted, while her body slowly lay down on the tracks. All their necks were aligned, precisely on the rail. The child was crying. The woman was screaming for help. The first 2 girls kept screaming, "I can't move. What's happening?" The third girl was lying on the tracks with the expression of horror. Only the old man was acting. He stood on the tracks, grabbed the little boy, and threw him back onto the platform. A moment later, his movement slowed. He sat down and carefully placed his neck on the metal rail, just where the little boy had been. 1 minute. My feet began to move again. The concert of screams pulled me closer. I began to walk. Not run. But I hadn't decided to run. My feet were moving on their own. The 4th girl was still on the platform, still screaming into the phone. "Stop the train. Stop the number 5 train." But her feet moved. She was slowly shuffling towards the edge of the platform. I knew she would fall, but even before she did, her feet kept moving and she didn't even notice it. Then her left foot stepped on air and she fell, caught herself with her hand, and landed with her head straight above the rail. All lined up, all necks on the rail. "Help! Do something!" screamed the young mother. "My arms won't move!" screamed the old man. The teenage girl screamed too, but I don't remember what they screamed. All I could remember was the approaching shrieking noise of metal on metal, and the way the small child cried while it crawled towards the edge of the platform. I felt the panic in my back reach a crescendo when I noticed that my feet were moving. They were moving towards the others, slowly shuffling against my will. "Help!" screamed one of the girls. "I can't," I whispered back. I saw the light of the tunnel, heard the shrieking metal getting louder. Several voices were screaming for help. I was shuffling forwards. The child was getting near the edge. The noise of metal on metal grew louder. The train was only a few steps away, and the child was reaching over the edge. The screams grew louder and shrill. My feet shuffled faster, out of my control, but my hands obeyed. My backpack flew against the little boy and pushed him over. I heard the train crush their necks. The screams stopped. My body bumped against the train. I remember falling backwards. I woke up with pain in my head, and the situation was empty. No train, neither blood nor people on the tracks. The 4 suitcases and my backpack were lying on the platform floor, and a little red-faced boy was curled up against my body.